Welcome, everybody, to another Beloved Oracle Speaks. Today's topic: don't go to sleep when your chance of freedom is so alive. Enjoy.
Oh, namaste. Welcome everyone to Satsang today here at Montesaja, and welcome also those who are joining us via broadcasting today. Big welcome for everyone. I'm seeing quite a number of new faces, so I hope you have a little idea of what happens here, or what is likely to happen, or maybe not. But welcome, and uh, maybe you want to come and say? You want to come? Okay. Mm, yeah. Good. Good to see you again. Okay.
I'm back home.
Yes.
And you are here.
Yes.
All this season from Rishikesh to Valdivia, I was attended to online in Valdivia to Zima. Just a deepening.
Just a
deepening.
Deepening. Okay.
In my home.
Does everybody understand what he means when he says, back home? Okay.
I have this beautiful fruit for you. It needed the invitation, the inquiry. Constantly.
Yeah. Does everybody understand what he means by the invitation? Huh?
Sorry.
No. I am checking, and we spoke about this because I mentioned to Shri. I think she spoke with you maybe a bit before satsang started today. You did? Sumantra made, and just that the exploration or work that take place here in Montesaja has become over the years quite specific, and because people are coming from all over the world to come to this part of Portugal, and primarily they say they're in search for awakening, which means for me to come to a clear understanding experientially, not just mentally, of who we are, not who we'd like to be, but who we are naturally. And it is regarded here, and certainly from my own point of view, as the most important discovery a human being can make. I know it sounds very big words to say that, but we have plenty to back it up. That the discovery of one's true nature, beyond the ego conditioning, that it is possible to awaken to it, not just as a passing experience, but as a profound recognition and insight, and that those who have experienced that feel drawn to go more deeply and more deeply into it. And so Mantasahaja is really in service to those who feel drawn to explore more deeply into their true nature. So sometimes people do come here, have no idea at all about, I don't know what you may have heard about this place, but from now we're asking everyone who wishes to come for the first time that you visit the website and look for the invitation and see what it is. It is very simple, but it will give you a background so that when you come here, you don't feel lost. Otherwise, it is quite unfair, I think, for those who have been looking and deepening in their search to keep on starting from scratch every time somebody new comes. I'm sure you will agree with this, no? So we're asking from now that people who come to Montesaja, that you have looked a little bit into what is discussed here, what is discovered here, what is searched for. And when you come, you have at least some basic understanding of what it is that we are doing here. Why so many people coming to this tiny place? Because of the results that they find, not just what they are searching for, but that what they are finding, what they are discovering. And so they perhaps pass on the word and more people are coming. Some merely out of curiosity, some because they feel, yes, I've been wanting to come for a long time and now I have the chance. So as from today, I'm myself saying to you now that in order to qualify to come here, you must at least have some fundamental or some basic understanding of the subject discussed here, and that you come with a wish to go more deeply into it. Do you think it's fair or not? Yes. Thank you. So, okay.
One of the images that helped me very much, it's when you say, if there was just a quintessential teaching, it would be stay as the isness.
Yes.
If you were in the station with a train.
Yeah. Yes.
Became my mantra, and it's just so powerful.
Yes. This is just in case, because sometimes you may find yourself in some phase, some situation in your life where you feel very confused or distraught or something like that, and worried and lost or something. Then what kind of teaching will be in service to you? It has to be some kind of emergency pill or something, that you're not going to sit down and then maybe start to sit and meditate when your mind is in a state of chaos. So then I refer back to this. I'm using the term isness because I'm pleased with this term at the moment, because it is quite neutral term. But what it implies is something altogether beyond concepts. It is our natural state. And today, because many people are here, perhaps for the first time, we may go through that again, because it is not so long to take you through the steps of awakening. And I'm very happy for this, because for many years I was also searching for a way in which this could be conveyed to many people from different backgrounds, different religions, people of no religion also, even atheists, I don't mind, if they were open enough that they could discover something that was there before they developed their own particular temperaments and mindsets, something that was so fundamentally true and consistent in the human family that we could all understand it. So by the grace of the self, this invitation has come, and we would like to share it with you. Are you up for that?
Yes.
Okay. So we are good.
Just great.
Okay. Okay.
I'm so grateful.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Of course, many people come, and each one comes with their own sense of what they have a problem in some area. And over the years, we've tried to address each thing as it is presented. And very often, if someone comes with a particular kind of doubt or problem, if it doesn't fit with other people's idea or what they've experienced, they often don't give you much attention to the conversations that happen if it's not dealing with your particular subject. So with the invitation, it concerns everybody, concerns everyone. And when I say everyone, I simply mean everyone who have come, because there are people who have no interest in this, and that is perfectly fine. I have no fault with that at all. But those who feel drawn, each one of you have come here for some reason. So I don't know what that reason is. It might vary also. But if I can put it that we all know and have experienced that we have some power within us that aspires for happiness and life and creativity and love and openness. There's a force that is moving in us towards that light. And there's a contrary force, it seems, that moves mostly to keep you attached to your personal life, and to your form, and to the daily existence. And your whole life can be directed to feeding that very narrow perspective of life. Just day to day, you know, what to eat, where to go, what you want to do today, and so on. I say that life is infinitely greater than that representation, and that there is something within us that deeply is worth discovering. And when we discover it, when we at least begin to discover it, we find that we're experiencing great peace, joy, or happiness, also becoming more wise, more open, less afraid of death and life, because there are people afraid of life also. And so your entire being begins to move in a much lighter way. So I assume that that is a natural desire for every living being, not just human being also. Every living being wishes to be happy, and largely to be safe, whatever that may mean for you, and to be expanding in consciousness, or growing more and more towards whatever it is that you perceive to be your goal. So I don't know if it's a little bit premature to be introducing the invitation so early to some of you. And for those who are already familiar with it, it will not hurt to hear it again. So let's assume that you've come here and you have this general question. I'm making up a question. It maybe represents something in you. Suppose you came and you say, you know, that I would like to ask for some help, because I'm not able to control my mind. I don't feel I'm living life to the full. My life being lived based upon my conditioning as a person, I don't think it is working so well. I would like to receive some guidance or some help that would allow me to be much more open in life, less afraid, I would like, in fact, to be free. I've heard of the term enlightenment or awakening or different terms for it, self-realization or something. Is it true? Is it really possible that a human being can really wake up out of the state of ignorance and into a state of real joy? Are beings like that we've heard, beings like the Buddha or the Lord Christ or of Krishna and Lord Shiva, Rama, beings like this, Ananda Mahima and so on, who are said to have been awake, meaning that they were the highest expression of the human potential to wake up to the truth of what they are. Is it true? And I said, oh yes, it is true. Is it possible for me? Well, I would say that whatever they've woken up to is already alive and true in you. But whether you are going to come to that recognition, it's not up to me to say, yes, it's going to happen for you. But I would like to tell you that it is totally available. And perhaps you will not get it the first time you hear it, but some do. And maybe you may be among them. You said, yes, I would like to explore this. I really am open. I feel I'm ready. I ask you, do you have some things waiting that you feel you cannot give your entire attention to this? Because if you are going to listen to me for 10 minutes of guidance or so, I don't want that you are saving something in your mind that when we finish talking, you're going to go back to that and then you will just ignore what I have said. So if you feel that you are open enough and you're available today to come to that recognition, can I assume that that is the case with you? Yes. So I said now, in response to the question, is it possible I'm here for this? Please help me. I say, okay, I'm going to invite you in to the space that I am, this space, which is not different from your space, but I'm going to invite you here. But before you can come in, you must leave your shoes outside, as you have done today to come into this room. Please leave your shoes outside. And then I follow up by saying now, please leave your mind outside. And people say, whoa, shoes I can leave, but to leave my mind, that's the problem. I can't leave my mind. And I said, well, don't worry. It's not so difficult what I'm asking. I'll explain what I'm really asking when I say leave your mind outside. I simply mean, while you're here with me for the short time that we will speak, please don't speak about the past. Are you willing to just not mention about the past or don't cling to the past just for the short time that we are speaking? And also about future, because very many people, they speak about the future. Yes, in another year, I'd like to go and live in this place. I want to spend some time in a monastery. I would like to be this type of person. I'd like to be more kind. I said, we don't talk about that. We won't talk about this. Not today, not now. Okay? Can we not talk about the future also? Okay. That includes you guys at the back as well. Okay, they're waving hello. So please, let's not talk about the past, but your memories or attachments or desires. Just leave it for the moment. If they are important later on, maybe we can talk about it. But for the duration of this short time that we are going to spend now, please don't hold on to any of these ideas. And you have said, yes, okay, I won't engage with them. And even the present, meaning the present moment of now, also whatever thoughts are coming in your mind, we're not going to talk about them right now. Just be entirely empty. Is it possible? Yes. Yeah, so we don't engage with any kind of thought process and so on. And I feel everyone can do this. Now, sometimes we know that the mind itself, the kind of psychological egoic mind somehow will start to behave like it doesn't want you to listen to this. It doesn't want you to be really present here. And it might start to make a lot of noise, or distractions start to come in. People start to look at the flags on the ceiling and stuff. And then when they see that many people have gone through into the understanding, then they're asking, please, could you repeat? I couldn't hear. I'm saying, too late. You missed the bus. Sorry. Next time, watch the video. Okay? So if you are here, I'm asking for your undivided attention for this short time. So you are agreeing that we will not speak about the past, and we will not be talking about the future. And I'm also going to ask you, you don't need to use your imagination, nor to be visualizing anything or creating any kind of pictures. It's not necessary. You should be glad to be told this. You don't have to be creating or imagining anything at all. Just be empty. So like this, you can't fail. I'm not asking you to do anything spectacular. Just be present and not to be holding on to any ideas, any concepts, any feelings, any memories, just for a short time. So you're here, isn't it? Yes. Not you plus, just you. Okay? And now even the idea you have of who you are, even the idea you have of who you are, the idea you have of who you are is like a self-portrait. However good it is, it's still not you. You understand? So even your idea you have of who you are, your self-image, please don't engage with this for now. So right now, it should just be that you are empty. Empty. Then also, I'll just say, the idea, because sometimes inside we start to think, okay, I'm empty, now what? There's no now what. No next. I'm not inviting you into the next thing. So just as you are now, but not waiting. It's good? Yeah, just here. Just here. So no self-image, no past, no ideas about future, no attachment to desires, no dreams for a moment, nothing. Just here. And I had to ask you to cooperate with just these simple guidance, so that when you're really here and empty of self-image and memories and desires and future and past and all of that, you're totally empty. Now just pay attention to your own self, just you. And the sort of environment, the feeling of just being here. Only this now. No imagination. No inventing. Just empty. Just being aware of this. You're just aware that you're simply here. Now, let me ask you this. That which you are experiencing now, is it personal? I'm going to ask you for your response. Is it personal? No. Just as you are here, you're not doing anything. You're simply just present. And you can hear my voice, and I'm asking you some simple questions. Does it have any shape or size or color? No shape, no size, no color. Is it an object? No. It's not an object. Just keep being aware, just being aware. You're here. This that is here, did it come from somewhere? Can it go? Can it leave and go somewhere? Is there some boundary, some natural boundary beyond which it is not? Please look and see. And every one of you, I'm speaking to each and every one of you here. So, is it limited? No, not limited. Okay. May I ask you if it can be confused? Just keep being aware. Can it suffer? No. Or can it cause suffering? No. Can it be sick? No. Can it be for or against anybody or anything? No, just keep being attention. This is beautiful, very beautiful. You're just here. Can it be owned or controlled by any person or group? It cannot, no. Does it have any desires? Is it capable of feeling disappointment? No. Can it be controlled or manipulated? No. Is it owned by any religion or philosophic group or anything? No, it's just not. Here's a good one. Was it born? Why are you slowing down now? Come on, answer up. Was it born? No. Does it have any astrological sign or something? No. Now, what about this? Very unusual one. Can it die? At the back, you can hear me? Yes. It cannot die. Are you imagining this? You're not imagining this. You're sure? Okay, what about this now? Because you're not taking much time to answer me. You're just being very direct in this. Can I ask you, how far away from you is it? Like, would it be a few centimeters or a meter? Is it close or what? How much distance? Is there any distance or separation between yourself and it? Huh? No. Okay, so I'm just going to recap and just to feed back to you what I'm hearing from you. So you're saying that it is not personal, what it is that you're directly perceiving without help from anyone else, from your own self, you're answering these questions. It is not personal. It is not an object. It has no size or color. Can it be photographed or captured in some way? No. Okay. So it cannot be photographed, cannot be captured, it cannot be manipulated. Can it be impressed by what you do? No. Or disappointed? No. Okay, let's add that to it. And it cannot be confused. It cannot be confused. It cannot be sick or to suffer or to give suffering. No, okay. Can it be bored? No, it cannot be bored. It didn't come from anywhere and it cannot go anywhere. And there's nowhere where it is not. Am I true? Have I got it? Okay. It's. Did I ask? Was it born? And did you say no? No. Okay. No. Okay. But then I said the difficult one. Can it die? No. And you sure you're not making this up? Okay. And then I believe I ask you, how much distance exists between you and this that you're perceiving? And you say, no distance. So you all seem to be answering the same way. And did you rehearse this before you came in the room? Did you decide to agree with each other? No, okay. So what it seems I feel it's reasonable to conclude from your responses to my questions is that what you are responding to and what you are referring to can only be yourself. Again, what you are responding, your answers to the questions I've asked you are really about your own self. It is not personal. It is not an object. It has no size or shape. It cannot be photographed. It cannot be bored. Can it be lost? No. So until you discovered it, where has it been all this time? Right here. It cannot become confused. It has no ruling planets. It has no birthday, no death day. There's no distance from your own intuitive sense of yourself. So I am concluding it must be about you. Is it true? How can you perceive something which is not an object unless you yourself are beyond objects? And if this is true, if it is true, who is this other guy then? Could it be that this is our unchanging reality, our true nature, and that somehow arising within our immensity is a life, a personal life that we are dreaming? imagining. That's why it's always changing. Something's always changing. But I ask you, where has it been before you discovered it today? Where was it? And you said it was always here. But yet we were not conscious of its always being here-ness. But today you are discovering this. Is it possible that when you leave this place, you're simply going to forget it? Even if you try? Can you unsee what you have seen? Again, can I just check in with you something? How are you feeling right now? Empty or full? Empty and full, okay. It's a good answer, it's a good response. Yes. Have you ever felt as complete, as light and open and happy as you do now? And it, what I'm calling it, the isness, it's a safe word for now, because it goes by other names. It's known all over the world by other names. But if I call those names, maybe it start to feel, well, oh, that belongs to this group, that belongs. So I'm using the word isness for the moment. This isness. Is it your possession? No. Can it feel claustrophobic? You understand the word claustrophobic? Meaning that it's too tight. Can it feel like this to you? No. I'm going to put it that for those of you who are present with this is the most important discovery in your life. Because if you value what you are seeing and discovering right now, it is going to continue to unfold in beautiful ways. Of course, we, whoever we are, have memories and tendencies and habits in the dynamic life, this dynamic life of the senses and the mind, and having a job and being married, having children, and losing a job, finding a new job, having desires, having attachments, having a sense of past, having a sense of future, all of this. The sense of ourself as a being that is living in time, that will still be very present within the space of the isness itself. Is it greater than the isness? No. Also, the shape, it's like a shape that we have taken, but the shape keeps changing. And for a while, if you are strongly identified with the shape, all that comes with the shape will feel real and true and belonging to you. But does the isness have a shape? No. Are you comfortable with that? Yes. What it means is that the mind have a tendency to go into shapes. And it will take whatever shape, whatever concepts you're holding, it will assume the shape of that concept. But naturally, it is without shape. Can you just for a moment just be here in your shapelessness for a moment? That although you can perceive shape, you don't have to become a shape. You're not forced into a shape. But if you move towards a shape, does it mean you've lost the isness? No. If we become deeply identified with a shape, it will somehow distract our attention from the naturalness of being or from the isness. And for a while, we may be caught up with that shape and whatever the content of that shape is. Do you understand this or not? So there is functioning within us a kind of a reflex or habit to go back to what feels most familiar to you. And so our person or personhood feels very familiar. It is like an area that we're familiar with, and we know how to be and how to act with different situations, and we remember our attachments and the things we want and the things we don't want, and all of this is there too. But if you fix your attention on anything from your person, watch it from the isness. If you are the isness itself, can anything threaten you? Can anything threaten you? No. Can anything damage the isness? Is this too big a discovery for you? What do you have to do to be the isness? Nothing. Isn't it too easy? So you sure you're not just imagining all of this? There are going to be times when you feel that, I can't feel the isness. I don't know. It's like yesterday it was really strong, but right now I just can't find the isness. Who is going to be speaking like that? Who is going to lose the isness? The guy who lives upstairs and in the attic. But when he speaks, it's a very familiar voice and a very familiar energy. It is so familiar, it feels closer than intimacy itself. And we are inclined to just identify that this is yourself. Will it make a difference to you now when these times come, when you are again strongly identified with your wasness? Because it's going to be speaking in your head some things like, you're not good enough for this. You know, you're far too unintelligent. Or it can also say, you're far too intelligent. Why waste time with these things? You're above all these things. Whatever you, meaning what? Would this voice be speaking to the isness? No. Who is it speaking to? the idea you have of who you are, our conditioned or imaginary being, the sense we have that we are merely a person. A person is also an aspect or a mode of consciousness, but it functions with a lot of distortions, a lot of limitation, and its characteristics are more, it tends to be selfish, personal, insecure, full of desires and attachments, fears, judgments. Familiar terms to you? Doubts, resistance, suspiciousness, superstitions. So if these are playing a role or functioning very close to your natural sense of being, it's very likely that you will not be experiencing the states of happiness for very long. Maybe you will experience happiness, but it might feel momentary. It will be quickly disturbed. Peace will come, but it will be quickly disturbed. Now, in the life that we experience, the dynamic life of movement and thinking and feelings and dreams and attachments and so on, there's also beauty here. There's also creativity, because everything comes from the isness. It is the source of all existence itself. But it is so pure. It is beyond the field of interrelated opposites, like you and me and this and that and high and low and life and death and heaven and hell and God and demons and success and failure and desires and attachments and all of these things. They cannot touch it. They cannot. It is beyond their reach, and yet it is without distance at the same time. So I want to present a metaphor that might be helpful. I've used it before. It's said that, in some countries, your people may have experienced a change of currency. I was living in England for quite a long time. We experienced a change of currency many years ago, from pounds, shillings, and pence to pounds and new pence. Some people experience a change in currency from, say, liras to euros or something. And if you are old enough to remember how it felt when the changeover was happening, that for a while, all the things that we would buy are still the same. They're just the same, but they had new prices on them. And we could not relate to the true value with the new money. Is true or not? And so very often we had to relate back to, what does that mean in old money now? And we have to go back to old money. And it says, okay, so that was like, okay, 3 and 6 pence. Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad. We hadn't learned the value of the new currency. We were not comfortable with it. But gradually over time, we changed. We began to get used to the new currency and found the level of value in it. At a certain point, we did not have to keep relating to old currency. Do you follow my example? Okay. Still, there will always be people, even now, living in old currency. 25 years later, you might know one or two, and it's like they still can't get used to the new money. But most people, and especially children, they are straight in, because that's current for them. So in the same way, with this new field discovery of the sense of isness, something keeps going back to the old reference from the person, from the past, because that feels more tangible. It seems to have some kind of environment or atmosphere that we can relate to, and we tend to go there very often. And then it feels then that you're merely a visitor or a tourist to the isness. But is that true, actually? Nevertheless, it might feel like that. And there are many people who have experienced the truth of their discovery of the sense of isness, but they still feel they have a dynamic life, which is natural. We are still, if you were a father before, after discovering the isness, you're not going to be no father. You will still be able to take care of your children, relate to them, because that's also a part of the expression of isness through the body and through even the sense of person. But now the sense of person is not a fact. It's more light. It's more superficial, more towards being like a fiction. The more you discover the sense of isness, the more the old ways of thinking feel very complex and heavy. Whereas in the isness, things are more spontaneous and fresh. There's more openness, more trust, more lightness in you. Time will tell. How strange. It takes time to discover the timeless. So I'll just ask you again, just to put your attention, on the isness, the beingness. What is it doing? Is it dead? No. So here is something. It's not dead. It's not going about. Huh? It should be boring, no? Is it boring? No. Can you be proud in the isness? No. Can the isness be arrogant? Can it be special? So, with this introduction, I would like to invite you simply to just marinate in this. Marinate means what? Just being conscious of it. Just be conscious of it. Is it different from you? No. And don't give it to your mind. Don't say, mind, tell me about the isness. Mind can only tell you about the wasness and the want to be-ness. It may feel, how can I reconcile, how can I, balance the isness with daily life? That may seem to be a reasonable question. Okay, there's the isness, it feels very nice at the moment, but tomorrow is Monday, I have to go back to work. Can I be the isness at work? Oh yes, just don't say that. Okay? In the feeling of isness, all things are unfolding naturally. You will do your work. In fact, it may even feel much more alive because your mind is not suffering states of confusion and personhood, the sense of greed or fearfulness. They will begin to soften up. Strong emotions and feelings and memories now become like clouds floating in the infinite sky. The sky has no favorite clouds. It doesn't say, where are you going? Stay a little bit longer. I mean, I like you. No, everything is floating by naturally in the realm of changefulness and time. Things will move in accordance with their own laws. They're moving. They are also noticed to be moving. Be in the place of the noticing. The noticing can be of this body also, and of the thoughts that move inside the mind and body here. There's also an awareness of them. But there's no need to identify with them. Gradually, this will become easier and easier and natural. There's no need to force anything. If you simply pay attention, be conscious of the isness, amazingly, the discovery of the isness has the power to bless every aspect of your expression spontaneously. If something feels in a hurry, like, come on, you're not going to move quickly, and come on, isness, we got to find this out, recognize that that is only a cloud passing also. Don't get deeply attached to any cloud. You may perceive them. You may have to move, your actions may have to move in the field of changefulness, but gradually, you'll find your natural harmony and balance with them. So there's many things I could speak about, but it's too many for you to bear right now. To leave some space for your own discovering, for your own unique discovering. The fundamental recognition is that the isness, the sense of isness, is not different from the essential you. Don't try to work it out and say, okay, let me try and figure all this out. Just if it feels like it resonates with you, just keep paying attention to it. There's nothing to become clever about. The mind wants to be clever about it, but you stay just present with it and bathe in its magnificence. Now there are many YouTubes online regarding this, the isness and the invitation. If you feel drawn to it, please study them. This satsang today is also being recorded and broadcasted all over the world. You can always go back. I would encourage it also that you look at it and look again and try again to see what is being pointed, to feel and recognize it, and to honor your seeing. It's very simple. It's not any mental gymnastics. It's very simple. Just by doing this, I sometimes describe it like a fruit that will keep getting sweeter and sweeter every day, but never becomes oversweet. Your life, in the way you experience it, will become more joyful, more expansive, more natural, more happy, more peaceful. Do you have a sense that what I'm speaking might be true? Yes. mind might say, but where's the passion? I want some passion. This is a bit too cool for me. I want some passion. Is there any passion in the isness? Oh yes, every expression, every taste is possible to be experienced in the realm of the isness. But none of them defines the isness. They're again just like clouds passing. Every taste, momentary. Some tastes can seem to go on for quite some time, but all are moving. Is the isness moving? Okay, I promised before we got into the invitation that you should leave your things outside, and then at the end of the exercise or the invitation, you can take them back if you wish. Okay? So that is up to you. That's up to you. You can have all your stuff back. I don't think anybody's going to mistake your stuff for theirs. So it will be right where you left it if you want. Now I am open to a few questions if you have. Papaji, come please. Father, you sure you don't want to sit on a chair? It's no, you're good? Okay, okay.
I can stay up.
Once you're up, same like me.
At the outset, I would like to say, with deep abiding respect and an unfathomable love, that my head is at your feet eternally till my existence and beyond. I was searching for almost 37, 38 years. I met in my life many great beings. And for the benefit of audience, I would like to say that I read voraciously of all the Vedantic scriptures. I even had some experiences with Nisargadatta Maharaj. Most of them, however, were, now I will make the term, borrow your term, phenomenal. They came and go. They were tremendous at that time. But till I received something from you, which was beyond my wildest experience. But for me, at least, it was amazing. It came and never went. It is still here. When I heard about you, which was totally coincidental, never made any effort. One of my old friend called me and he said, Vijay, this is for you. You will have to hear this. You have to hear Moojibaba. You have to. I ignored him for some time because I didn't want to get disappointed again. But finally, 2-3 times he called me, you're wasting your time, look. And I saw the first satsang. Amazingly, I was hooked. It was so powerful, but there's a big but. I didn't understand anything. I didn't retain anything. I didn't retain anything after watching. I don't know what I heard today. I couldn't really articulate anything. It was so powerful, though. Something was, I knew. There was awareness was there. There's something is wonderful here. But I was so restless. I was so despondent to really get what it is. And about less than 3 months, I was searching and I was hearing and hearing, right, morning till night, all the time, and becoming more desperate. So one night, I went to bed completely despondent. And I said, oh, Paramatman, it's only your grace will take me where Moojibaba wants to take his disciples. And amazingly, that night, at about 2 or 3 o'clock, I don't remember, something woke me up. And for at least 10 minutes or more, I was not aware what's happening here. There was nobody really. Actually, there was nobody. And I was lost. I completely gone. But something was joyful there. But then I looked, suddenly the entire expanse of the sky, which is called Akash in Sanskrit, was completely opened, as if I am under a wonderful clear sky. And points of lights are also there. And I stayed there like that. Awareness came of the body. Then I walked to the bathroom and I came back. Still, everything was exactly how it was. No change, absolutely no change. The light was still full power on. And I couldn't sleep that night. I was just in that sky and completely looking at it all the time. But then morning came and there was a different kind of restlessness. What is happening to me? That me came. Till the morning, there was no me. There was nothing like that. It was just there. This is it. What you now call isness was isness completely there, fully there, isness. There was no entity like me or I or whatever. In the morning, that nasty eye came and the whole trouble started. I said, I have read so much. Where is this? This came from. I have so much of knowledge of the scriptures. I even was teaching Gita for some time to wonderful people around me. And I said, I don't know. I have to know. Now this knowing, I didn't know that time, is the lower knowing. Knowing is not a freedom area. It's an area of limited awareness.
Yes.
I sensed it, but then I was pulled to find out, and I was despondently looking around. One thing I did not do, which was stupid actually on this. I didn't write to you. Somehow I felt you may be like other gurus I have experience with. But I thought you may not respond or such idea. I didn't know what happens here. Now I know how wonderful place it is. What I'm saying, probably many have experienced here. This is the only company where I really feel like saying this. This company is rare in this world, very rare. And I would like to say, everybody here, everybody, really, you're all going to get it. Do not doubt. Doubt is really the ego thing.
Yes.
All there is ego thing. And don't worry about knowing anything. Because I wasted many, at least year two, to find out what is happening to me. Finally, the Paramatman gave me grace. I was visiting my daughter. She's also intense sadhaka. I was visiting daughter. She was in Jacksonville, Florida at that time, and she has a lot of spiritual books, which is Vedantic. We both have those, and I went there and I randomly picked up, and exactly what I was supposed to have. It was the Ashtavakra Gita. Ashtavakra Gita. I opened it, and there it was. The first time not really first time, actually, I heard the term there and description in a very brief way of this space, Chidakash. Chit is consciousness, Akash is space. So, Chidakash, I see now, because I read that before. Then I remembered in childhood, I was 8-9 years old, I used to go to these discourses. So, one of the wonderful one, he was not, I don't think he was a guru, I don't remember this, but he mentioned this term Chidakash, and he said that your all aim in this people sitting here, before we cast our body, the ultimate aim is to reach, recognize Chidakash. That came back to me. And then the relation came. Then thereafter, I was again, by accidentally, taken to 2 other scriptures, which happened to be now, I know, a very favorite of Maharishi, Raman Maharshi. Mm-hmm. And those are the advice that was given to Rama by his Guru Vasishtha, Yoga Vasishtha, which is the Yoga of Vasishtha, which is, it's a big book. But in that book, amazing statements were made. Again, I opened the book and the statement was there.
It comes like that also, spontaneously as you come into that recognition. You find that the existence is serving your maturing so much more naturally. Yes. Things seem like accidents, but they turn out to be very, very, very
absolutely
auspicious.
Yes.
For you, just what you need in this time.
Yes.
So this is this Chidakash also is the aspect of the isness. It is not different.
In fact, yes. That I can say from the earliest experience. But let me state further, and maybe my story is too long for people, but that aspect. The Yoga Vasishtha gives even further, which is amazing statement. It says that a beam of light coming from Chidakash contains millions of universes. It contains millions. I know, Rama, you must see this. So this is even amazing. That simply means that now you are even the watcher of Chidakash.
Yes.
Which is Paramatman. Yeah. I suppose, I don't know. I'm
Well, gradually, your own inner experience will come to start confirming these things for you. You start to naturally, without trying to confirm, you find naturally you're in the position where these very things, whatever form, even the most subtlest, are themselves appearing like objects in front of the seeing. So this is
I want you to pardon me. I'm using word I, but really it doesn't have that power which I had once.
yes,
You know, it is diminishing.
yes,
You know, and sometimes I get emotional, and I'm not very articulate when I'm emotional. But anyway, the third scripture. Just want to, for the benefit of people, I want to say, third scripture is the Tripura Rahasya. Tripura Rahasya.
yes, yes.
Which I happen to find out that you have read where you were in Kerala somewhere. You had an experience of that sea. In this something about the sea.
You remember?
Yeah, yeah. I watched that time. So that one has also clear explanation, and also it tells you what Atma means, space, which is really amazing. But I am at this point. I really don't have question as such. My doership is the only problem still. There is something that says I do.
Yes.
And
but this I do-ness is also visible to you. It's also observable.
Yes.
That is important.
Yes, I do observe it actually.
Yeah.
Yes. Although still there is something that
from the place of the observing, there is no I do.
Yes. Yes.
Only, I see.
Yes, I recognize that.
Only when you're getting married, you'll say I do. But from the original place, you will see the watching of the I do or I think. You see, like this. Yeah. If you speak it, it's only out of tradition we speak like that. But as you say, the power that when I say I, the power it used to carry, it doesn't carry anymore. It is diminishing in its power.
Yes.
That's because somehow you, the sense of the person is merging more in the isness field. So that is.
I'm praying you totally finish me. Whatever remains.
Thank you.
And nothing more to say.
Yes. Say no more. Thank you.
Dhanyavad.
God. One moment. You? Yes, for a moment. Let me hear.
Beloved Mooji, I was on the Zima retreat and I'm very grateful. Thank you very much. What a great gift. And now a question came out in my mind. I have a basic question to the mind, the nature of the mind. So according to my understanding, the mind is creating the phenomenal world, the universe, physical world and everything. And it comes out of the isness. Is it like the first wave, or how is it, the relationship isness to the mind?
You can regard isness as the womb that gives rise to or gives birth to phenomenality, if I want to use a word like that. Maybe not people not so accustomed to this word phenomenality, but all that is perceivable.
Mm-hmm.
And we speak of what is perceivable because there is that which perceives it. So you're asking the question, Where does the world, how does the mind, are you asking how does the mind gain this power to create all this?
Yes.
You're asking this question?
Yes.
Yes, it just, as you say, if you can accept that it obviously must come, although that the isness cannot have private wishes in that kind of way, yet it gives rise to all of that happens because of its grace and its power. It must be said that it must have wished through its earliest expression. The earliest expression of the isness is what we may call the sense of being or the sense of presence, which announces itself. It is consciousness also, but is the consciousness that will bear witness to the manifest world. It won't be the manifest world particularly, but it will be the witness of it. You may call that natural sense within you the sense I am, which means I exist. And that I exist feeling arises from that absolute awareness, the isness. Strange that the highest knowledge becomes the simplest, actually, to perceive as it's been guided here. What seems more complicated is the more things move towards the person, the more complex they get to understand. The more natural it is, the more honest it is, the more simple it is. The more personal it becomes, the more complex it seems to be to explain like that. So the sense I am is you may call it the child of the absolute if you want. It is the earliest expression into phenomenality. I sometimes refer to it as the lens through which the absolute can perceive the manifest, but all of it comes from the isness. Or I can say, however diverse the manifest field appears to be, all of it shares the same DNA as consciousness itself. You see?
Yeah, but the mind, it's an original mind. It's very ancient and very old and very strong. So, is there anything stronger in this world than the mind?
Well,
I mean, there isn't, but in the
stronger than the mind. The natural mind is not the same as the egoic mind. What you call natural mind and the self, they are the same thing. You may say it is the oldest, but yet the self is timeless. One is of age and one is beyond time. So when we speak about the mind in its creative, you can call the mind also the beingness, or that which creates the sense of names and forms and time and relationships that you may call the mind or the field of mind. We are not speaking here about quantifiable objects that can be measured with quality. When we speak about mind, it is the same in essence like speaking about the beingness or the sense of presence. These are not objects. They're like spiritual quality. And in the same, when you speak about the isness or Paramatman or whatever, it is not an object we are speaking about. So the mind is the instrument for comparing and measuring variety and for, you may say, interpreting and projecting. So its scope is much less than the isness. It is a power arising inside the field of the isness itself, the power to create and to diversify, and then also to perceive. But its perceiving power is much more subtle. You see, it's much more subtle than that.
I understand an enlightened being, for an enlightened being, the mind is like a servant. He's not manipulated and controlled by the mind.
For enlightened being, the word mind doesn't mean anything. They may use it in conveying some concepts when they're in the kind of environment where that term is respected and means something. But for themselves, they don't have there's no need to put mind. So, it's just for necessity. It's just like you need a knife to cut the vegetables. You need some words to express some things. They are not caught in the trap of those concepts. They don't have to go to the mind to enjoy. They are themselves the source of joy. If mind is anything, it's more like a playing field to them. But yet they understand that the play of suffering and confusion and depressions and all of these things, they come in the realm of the mind. And because of the natural compassion that arises inside, and then of course they are in service to alleviating that suffering. And so the chief way is that you cannot beat the psychological mind at its own game. You cannot fight it with force because it grows with force. You can only overcome it or transcend its power through understanding, through wisdom, right guidance. You cannot fight the mind. If you understand it in the correct context, its powers are completely cut. The power that you're calling mind is more in function with when the beingness identifies itself as a person. When it takes itself to be a person, then that psychological mind may intimidate that personal aspect of consciousness, but it cannot intimidate the pure consciousness, which is out of its reach altogether.
Okay, thank you very much.
No, that's good. You come. Hello, namaste.
I guess again, I just come to show my deepest appreciation. I love you so much. And
yeah, love you too.
And I would like to thank you, all the angels from the Sangha who have supported me in difficult times. And they are really the emanation from you, and it's really felt here. And I would like to put everything at your feet, what is not supporting the truth. And
well, yes, you can put it like that, or you can say that the minute you look at it with clear understanding, it vanishes actually. It loses its power. When you look at it with identity, it seems to have power. When you look from the isness, it has no power. You choose. As the isness faded, as it got bored and because you're not mentioning its name and it's gone away somewhere. So like this, you stay with that because it gives life to life itself. It is giving life to life itself. You may not at present feel like you're capable of saying that. That's fine. I'll say it on your behalf for now. But you just stay with the isness. It will take care of everything. I say it again, it will take care of everything. Nice and simple. Because sometimes the mind is asking for advice that it cannot follow. Please tell me what this is, and okay, thank you, but it can't forget. You see, here is something that is very alive and natural and easy and simple in its expression, and totally in harmony with your natural being. Very good.
so happy.
I can see. Yes. Very nice, very nice. Okay, you come. Yes.
Hi, Mooji.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Just my brother is mentally ill, and I would like you bless him, and my father, who takes care of him.
Yes,
for,
I received your letter, no?
No, comment?
Did you write a letter to me?
Yes, it's a yes.
Yes.
And
I
just-
remember it.
No, no. Ah, si. Si. But you don't read it, so I didn't.
I read it.
You read it.
Yes.
Okay. And another thing, but I give you because
Okay.
it's.
Thank you. Don't go away. Don't go. That for me. It says, "Dear Mooji," your M needs to dip a little bit. Oh yeah. What language?
French or Spanish?
French.
Sure.
I must choose? Okay. What are you listening to? French?
I listen French now.
French. Okay. And dear Mooji, please read this letter for you. Bless my brother who is mentally ill and my father who takes care of him. Forever, and even at his age 88 years, they are both called Raphael. No? Father of Raphael, son Raphael. And secondly, give me the chance to serve in Montesaja for some time in 2018. With gratitude and love, Maria. I attended the satsang today. C'est très bon, oui. Very good. I read the letter you wrote to me before.
Yes.
Yeah? And I read the letter and I felt it. No. Okay. Merci beaucoup. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. You're ready? Okay. Okay.
May I speak French?
French, yes.
Yes.
Many
Okay.
French today.
Okay. Bonjour Mooji.
Okay, we have translator. Where are you going? You hear microphone here.
Bonjour Mooji.
Bonjour.
Enchantée. Sorry. My question is.
I like that. It's okay. English is good.
Okay. Quand je ferme les yeux.
When I close my eyes.
When I close my eyes.
J'ai perdu tout point de vue. Il n'y a plus rien. Je n'existe plus.
I lose all point of views. There's nothing, and I do not exist anymore.
Mais pourtant, il y a encore des sentiments, de la tristesse.
Et pourtant, je suis plus là.
But nonetheless, there is feelings, sadness, but I'm not here.
Et en même temps, c'est complètement neutre. Il n'y a pas la joie qu'on explique ici, il y a juste rien.
And in the same way, it's totally neutral. There's not the joys we speak about here.
It's
There
not
is-
the joy that we speak about here.
Yeah, there is nothing.
Okay, so just when you close your eyes, everything vanishes, including your sense of self. Explain.
She has the translation.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then also she says that there is no. What was the last thing you say?
She says there is feeling,
Yeah.
sadness, but
There's
she
feeling
feels
sadness. Yeah.
Mais
So
avec
if
mon-
there's feelings and there's sadness, but there's nobody that they belong to, then what perceives them?
il y a personne à qui cela appartient, donc qui les perçoit?
C'est ma question.
So they are perceived in the beingness, what I call the beingness or the sense of presence, that which exists and perceives even the person is perceived.
Ils sont perçus dans le sens de l'être-té, de ce qui est, ce qui perçoit, même le sens de percevoir.
But it is not a person.
Mais ce n'est pas une personne.
The sense of presence is not a person.
Le sens de la présence n'est pas une personne.
Yeah.
Yes, I know.
Yes, it is like the intelligence or the intellect of the isness.
C'est comme l'intelligence ou l'intellect de ce qui est.
Yes. It perceives through the sense of presence,
Il perçoit à travers le sens de la présence,
but it doesn't get attached like the person gets attached.
mais il n'est pas attaché. Il n'a pas d'attachement comme la personne peut avoir des attachements.
C'est ce que je vis. Mais quand je dis ce que je vis, je ne sais plus qui dis-je.
That's what I'm experimenting. But when I say this is what I am experimenting, I don't know what is this I,
Because I feel I'm not.
because I have the feeling that I am not.
It is true, and this is when the words become limited now,
C'est vrai, mais c'est à ce moment-là où les mots sont limités,
because you're moving more inside the realm of being,
parce que tu te déplaces plus dans le domaine de l'être-té,
which is beyond duality,
qui est au-delà de la dualité.
and language is primarily for duality.
Et le langage est pour la dualité.
But you're able to perceive the remnants of the old self.
Mais tu es capable de percevoir les réminiscences du vieux soi.
Okay.
But it's only a sensation.
Mais c'est seulement une sensation.
Yes.
Et qu'est-ce qu'il en a dans cette grande joie que je ne...
Alors, so what's with this great joy that everybody's speaking about?
This joy.
Yes.
Well, you can say the joy is arising naturally in the absence of the person.
Tu peux dire que la joie émane naturellement dans l'absence de la personne.
It's the natural perfume that comes from the beingness
C'est le parfum naturel qui émane de l'être-té,
when it's not stuck in identification.
quand il n'est pas coincé dans l'identification.
But in the same way that the flower is not attached to its fragrance,
Mais de la même façon que la fleur n'est pas attachée à son parfum,
and yet the fragrance cannot exist independent of the flower.
et pourtant le parfum ne peut pas exister sans la fleur, indépendamment. Yes.
Malgré ce vécu, je ne sais pas comment le dire autrement, quelque chose a aussi disparu, c'est le sens. Si je ne suis plus rien, qu'est-ce que je suis venue faire dans cette forme?
Okay. Even if I disappeared, there is a sensation, a feeling that's still there. Is that what did I come to do in this form?
Yes.
What?
In a sense, you can say for a while, the formless took form Yeah?
Pendant un certain temps, tu peux dire que celui qui est sans forme a pris forme.
But it did not exchange itself.
Mais il n'a pas fait un échange de lui-même.
It remained the formless inside the form.
Il est resté celui qui est sans forme dans la forme.
And come on. And it continues to experience with form, believing itself to be form for a while.
Il continue à faire l'expérience en tant que forme, et pendant un certain temps, il croit être cette forme.
Yes. And a role emerges out of that spontaneously.
Un rôle émerge de cela spontanément.
Yes. It may not be consciously playing the role.
Peut-être qu'il ne joue pas ce rôle consciemment
It may not be deliberately playing a role.
ou délibérément.
Nevertheless, it becomes a role for the sense of others.
Néanmoins, il devient un rôle pour le sens des autres.
So voluntarily or involuntarily, it has some effect or impact on the manifest world.
Donc volontairement ou involontairement, cela a un impact dans le monde phénoménal.
But nevertheless, you can still say that maybe we manifest as form to discover consciously our formlessness.
Néanmoins, on peut dire que peut-être que tu te manifestes en tant que forme pour découvrir que tu es sans forme et que tu es la conscience.
And to experience it consciously.
Et pour en faire l'expérience consciemment.
To our joy.
Et c'est cela la joie.
Et c'est le seul but de l'existence?
Is it the only aim of existence?
No.
Non.
Ok, je suis rassurée.
It has innumerable expressions. Its capacity is never exhausted.
Il a beaucoup d'autres innombrables expressions et ses capacités sont sans limite.
It cannot run out of creativity.
Il ne peut pas ne plus avoir de créativité.
It serves every purpose.
Il est en service de tout.
Because every time it comes into manifestation or into form,
Parce qu'à chaque fois qu'il se manifeste ou prend la position de la forme,
it must provide the environment through which that conscious form can experience itself.
il doit mettre en place l'environnement nécessaire pour pouvoir s'exprimer dans cette forme,
To explore its potential,
pour pouvoir explorer ses potentiels,
to eventually become tired of it,
pour éventuellement se fatiguer de tout cela
and to search to come back to its original being.
et donc de chercher à revenir à l'être originel.
It may happen in one lifetime or many.
Cela peut se passer en une vie ou en plusieurs.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's good. Okay.
Thank you, Gogoji.
Thank you. Thank you. Excuse me. You can talk. I'm listening.
I am totally astonished and so thankful. It was in Rishikesh, that moment when you said, we are one. That we all experience this being one. But what afterwards happened was that I experienced myself, it was in a horrible way. All the destructive tendencies turned up and I couldn't handle them at all. But what I wanted to tell now and share an experience is this. Also, I was not able to change myself or to be in contact with this, what you call isn't.
Who are you speaking as when you speak like that? What is the substance of your identity when you speak like that?
Yeah, I wanted to come there. I experienced something, how effective this isn't was.
How effective the isness.
It unfolded somehow without my being able to to do anything.
Maybe this is what is beautiful about it.
Yes, and that I wanted to share.
Yes, because if you could do something about it, you might just be proud of that.
Yeah, so there was this little event which I want to share. I stay in a house, and before my flat there is a chair. And in the last time I found very often a piece of cake, a delicious cake on this chair. So it turned out that it was a lady in the house who is I'm sure she has never heard anything about meditation or spirituality or something like that. And I got to know she put me this cake for my door. And then I met her and I inquired, well, why are you putting this cake there? And she said, I enjoy that you are here. Good. Next time when we met, she asked, why are you going away always for several weeks? You should stay here. What are you doing there? Then I didn't find the right words to explain what, I mean, I'm not doing anything about what I'm experiencing here. I was not able to explain her. So we left it like that. And then next time she came and she really asked me, do you meditate? And I was so touched by her asking and by her obviously experiencing something which I felt was like a gift of you, like a gift of this indescribable only existence, which is not dependent whether I feel it or whether I can get really into contact with it by my own
it's more nearer to you than feeling.
Possibilities.
It's closer than feeling.
And I'm so thankful for that unfolding and this some effortless harmony. You use this expression, and I experience it here too. Wherever I look, these plants and flowers and trees and stones and the earth and all these wonderful brothers and sisters. I'm so thankful for that it exists, everything without, we have to do nothing. It exists and it works.
Yes.
And this is, I wanted to share, I have no question. And Mooji, I wanted to tell you, I came here, I couldn't see whether you picked me up or not because my eyes are going half blind. So you must know just that I cannot see sharp. Maybe this brings me to a little question too. Would like you to ask, to talk about looking, this looking.
Yes.
So if these exterior eyes are gone in short order, I should be able to have this inner looking.
Yes, I mean the word perceiving is kind of looking. I mean, perceiving is broader than what we would feel when we say looking. We're mostly talking about our physical eyes and physical sight, but perceiving happens in a much broader way. A blind person also perceives, and sometimes can perceive much more accurately than someone who relies only upon eyesight to perceive. They're perceiving through the senses, through smell, through vibration, through body language, through so many different ways we are perceiving.
Yes, and to be honest, I'm a bit sad that that will go. I will miss the smiling faces or the expressions in the faces, or to recognize this inner light.
Yes.
Over the
you may be surprised that you especially someone who has discovered what you are discovering, you may find it also that there's a blessing in it also.
I am sure, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's all.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thanks to you. Thank you. Okay, we're folding. Let me hear from you. Okay, you come. Yeah, come. Mm-hmm.
Mooji, beloved. It took me so many years to see you, not in a form. Mooji, I felt actually cheated by you. That you didn't show up like this.
I can't hear you, you know? You said what happened?
Sorry. It took me so many years. To see you. Not like you showed up before. Not your form. Mooji. 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 Please. Please stay like this with me. With us. Who can see you? Please.
Stay like this with you?
Yes.
How is it?
Your form is beautiful. But in a way, it's deceiving. It's not what you are.
So it is not deceiving. You feel deceived.
I do. I did.
Yeah.
I did. Yes. Yes.
Just like it's not necessarily beautiful either.
Yes.
And the rest I can do nothing about.
You actually do. You actually, I feel I have nothing. I have nothing. I have no business here. Like, I feel you do it all.
You can't remember doing it.
Yes, I know you do. I saw you. I know you do. I know it may be funny. It may be like, but I know you do. I know, I saw it. And I remembered that story, and someone reminded me about Papaji. He was playing with Krishna. And Krishna would come and go. And he also left. And again, this mind showed up. It comes and goes. Here, especially, I experienced it. I actually knew it mentally, all the time. Mentally, listening your videos, days and nights, and burning, but I knew it mentally, not like it has no words.
You know now that which has no words. Yes or no?
Yes.
We all know it, more than knowing. Maybe we recognize again something that we, for a long time, imagine we never had or we were separate from it or something. And now we are recognizing consciously again that which I am calling the invitation, through that which I'm calling invitation. It's wordless. I wonder what's going to happen now. You see, that you discover something that is not subject to change. Everything else you know is subject to change. Like Papaji saying, one day, all that you see, all that you experience, all that you remember, one day will be gone. But not this. So make your discovery here, and you'll see that you will not be gone. Even while you're alive, even while you're alive in this body, you may have this understanding beyond merely intellectual conviction. It will be the living truth for you.
It's actually alive. For the first time in my life, it's alive. It's a living being. It's not a fantasy. The rest of the time, it kind of had that color of fantasy.
When perceived through the mind,
Yes.
especially of the person, it can appear to be like this or like that, but that will only be appearance. Now you know it directly, not through the vehicle or the instrument of the mind. That's why I ask you, is there any distance? Must it be interpreted? Must it be liquidized and made into baby food for you? No, directly, neatly, you recognize.
Mooji, I also want to be very, very, very particular and honest with you. I don't want to come from this agreement with words. Like, I want to be very, very honest step by step on that.
I'm waiting.
When you came, you revealed yourself. I cannot even say words, do not even say a little bit what happened. Then you left. Therefore, there is a distance. Maybe I'm talking from my mind right now. But then you started to reveal yourself little by little through the day, through like little events in the day. Can you please not leave? I know I cannot do anything myself. Please give us your grace, Mooji.
If you don't turn away, I will not leave. It's beautiful, no? Suppose you turn away and I'm... No. They work as one thing. They work as one.
And you know, I did lots of work this years. And I look back and I see it's all useless without you. It has no meaning really without you. Please put me to your work, please.
Thank you. Thank you.
Namaste, Mooji.
Namaste.
First, I want to thank you for the space and everyone I've been connecting with verbally and silently here. It's been a blessing and I send it to them. So there's kind of been I continue another process. I heard you say the other day it's not a process, so it's kind of
I cannot say anything absolutely.
Yeah. So in contemplation, what I've been doing is everything, the moment I see it arise, I surrender to God. The moment.
The moment you see it arise.
The moment I see it, I surrender it.
Okay.
So be it a feeling, be it a thought, be it the body wants to move, be it anything as I'm sitting there for hours. And last night I did it after the RT, and it was almost like I saw the perceiver, but the moment I perceived seeing the perceiver, it left.
Which you perceived also.
Which I perceived also. So that's kind of what I've been doing here. And the part of the question is that something useful? But then as I was sitting over there, I had this awareness that even sitting there doing it, even is observed.
Yes.
It's all just being observed. And then one of the mornings, this is kind of one of the mornings, so I drink the cooler water. So I took a coin. The next day, I grabbed a coin, and I had an instinct, grab 2 coins just in case. And I ended up needing to buy 2 batteries for Seva. I was like, oh, I have the coin. And I saw the mind take authority of the deciding to take the other one. And when I had an awareness that there was almost like a sense that said to grab it, will the mind like take authority of things? Is another question. Does that make sense?
It depends how much value you give to what you call mind. You see, the more you are aware of the isness, the less you will need to go to the mind for things, so to speak. In the isness, all things resolve themselves beautifully. There's no need to go to some other department. Mind itself is resolved in the isness. So in the sense mind takes authority, it means less and less for you. It's not, because you see, all of this is going towards a kind of complexity.
Yeah,
it's a kind of complexness that we, again, have to work something out, then this you have to do. And how are you going to remember all these things? How simple it is true when it says your mind, you become like a child again. It's so simple. We venerate all this complexity. We think, oh, we're so sophisticated in knowledge, but actually, it's not any big deal. If knowledge is of any use, it is only to remind you of your truth. In itself, to learn about something, that is also, as it's been said before, all knowledge that you acquire, it all amounts to just learned ignorance if you don't know who you truly are. And that is the fundamental thing to know. But it takes us a long time to come to that recognition, because of the urge within us is always to more and more, learn more and more, and get more and more and more. You see? So at some point, maybe you start to realize that less and less is also even better also for a bit. And then at another point, more or less does not mean anything to you. These are the seeming stages. At first, more, I want to get more, learn more, get more knowledge, get more experience, travel more, see more and more things, more practices and all this thing. And then after saying, oh, I've got all this stuff, and all it is just I'm constipated with all this knowledge. And then you have to take the laxative of another kind of thing. And then it's less, and less feels really good. Less. And then at a certain point, more or less don't mean anything at all. You are the isness. Can the isness become more isness? Or less isness?
No.
It's so beautiful, no? It's so beautiful. But somehow, sometimes something say, yes, but I want to go further. I want to go more deep. I want to go and say, okay, if that urge is there, let's see what you have to say. But as soon as we begin to explore, very often we are going into more complexities. Sometimes you're going deeper and deeper, and then you realize you're only going deeper and deeper in the mind. What is the depth of the being? How many inches? How many meters? How many kilometers? It's meaningless. It's distanceless in one way, you see. But while the urge inside is to know more and to get closer and to go more deep and to go more high and so on, it will produce more and more activity, and the mind will always send you on a journey. You get more and more. You're getting closer. You're getting close. Oh, you missed it. Oh, let's go. And you see, and this is the so-called adventure of self-discovery. You see, another one is someone is traveling all over the world, and in the end, they still don't know anything at all. Another one sits quietly in a cardboard box somewhere, and they are universal. Such paradoxes is taking place, you know. So this simplicity, which is already present, sometimes it is overlooked because we want to have the taste of knowing something. The minute you want to know something, you reinforce duality in some way because you think the thing exists independently. And most of us in the world, we actually think that things exist unto themselves independently. And as yet you are not aware of the unified field of oneness, that they are just like a soup of sensations. And so all this becomes really beautifully harmonious within you. And what does it amount to? That your being comes into a kind of silence, a kind of natural isness, peace, and joy, just naturally. What is its value? Its value is if you recognize it and you value it. If you don't value it, it's not valuable. If you value it, it's valuable. Life works also in very simple ways. You see, for myself also, my world is very simple. You know, very simple. People think that oh yeah, you know so many things. I don't know anything at all actually. It's so simple, really so simple. Do I want it to become more complex? Nice like this. Nice like this.
My mind next says, well, how should I contemplate?
Yeah.
You know, should I
because you think you have a mind.
Yeah.
And then the mind says, how can I do this? And you say, well, I don't care. You want to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
I'll wait here and see who wins. You see, you can exist without this psychological mind, but it cannot exist without you. Judge which is the greater and stay in the place of the greater. You can be without this psychological aspect of the mind, but it has no existence apart from you. Has anybody seen some loose mind running around the place? No, you never. It is always a relationship between the pure sentience in its expression as being. When it extends or projects itself into the mode of personhood, then that function called the mind or the psychological mind, the egoic mind, comes into being and comes into play. And it will behave as though it is the friend or even the adversary of that identity. It will play for a while. And chiefly, it gives trouble to itself. It only stops giving trouble when it discovers its deeper, its source, its root, its ground in the isness again, everything. Then you begin to exhale. Exhale means feels very light, happy. You see? Everything, even death of the body is what? Exhale. Can you imagine? I used to feel, grow up, see quite a number of dead bodies. It happened. Even one time a child died in my bed. I didn't want to sleep in the bed anymore. One of my aunties came, and then I had to give up my bed, and they slept in the bed. In the morning, the baby was dead. And so we grew up with a lot of this, like this. So it was very, very terrible feeling. I would go to funerals, you see. I said, oh God, no. Why? Why must we all end up like? I said, no. And then it came one time that, the final breath, your final breath, is it in or out? Out. Can you imagine if it was in? Your last breath. It's a horrible idea. It means that somebody took it and it's still in there. It's horrible. Last breath. Out. So there isn't any dead person, dead body. There isn't a dead body with a dead person in there. They've gone. Body. When we live in the state of ego, we are often living on the in-breath. A lot of tension because the ego is not sure of itself. So it's when you discover yourself, relax, nice. It's very good. Move naturally, Thank you. I feel that I would just want to call your attention again, just the isness. Has it moved? Did it kind of move over a little bit? No, it is always here. And so I just want to bring again this reminding of that which does not move. It doesn't go. It never left you. It's not different from you. In fact, in a sense, it's more here than you. Any idea you have of you is always something doing something. But the isness is not a doer. It is our real being, you see? So I don't want to invite more questions for now, just to be like this. Then what I would say feels right now is that we stop here for a moment, have a bit of music, no dancing, just a bit of music, okay? And then I will have a chance to just read a few letters. I won't stop because in the past, we have stopped and people go and have some chai. I go and have some chai, take a rest, come back and we read the letters. But I want to do that now so that we can have a bit of music, relax a little bit, enjoy the isness in its musical expression. And I can read a few letters if you are okay with this. And then we can say goodbye for the time being in our superficial departures. So like this, I think somebody come in. So can I say thank you for your attention, and as you move in life, whatever you are doing, it makes absolutely no difference. I don't have to say, oh, you're a doctor. Oh, there's a different kind of way to be in the isness. I'm not going to make anything. Whatever you do, you could be prime minister of the country. You could be a thief. It's the same isness. Okay? And just keep paying attention to that. You pay attention, you lose all your attention,